Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart, both published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today, I'm going to be showing off my entire Steven Erikson Malazan Book of the Fallen book collection. I've got all the books in hardcover and all the books in mass market paperback. I'm going to be showing them all to you, and not only that, we're going to be comparing the hardcover book illustrations with the paperback book illustrations, and I'm going to say which one I like a little bit better. Kind of like my Robert Jordan. When I showed off my Robert Jordan collection, I did the same thing with the book covers. So let's get started. I bought Gardens of the Moon when it first came out back in 2003, 2004. I thought it was one of the most dope books I'd read. I hadn't read anything like it, and I just loved everything about it. And I knew that this guy, Steven Erikson, this is back in the day when I used to paint magic cards and do some illustrations for Dungeons and Dragons. So I used to go to the World Science Fiction, World Fantasy Convention. I used to go to Gen Con once in a while, promoting my art for Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, things like that. Anyway, long story short, I was one of the guests at the World Fantasy Convention in 2004 in Tempe, Arizona, and so was Steven Erikson, so I knew the guy was going to be there, so I brought along my book. I had him sign it. You know, I always show off my signed books if I have them. I do have a signed first edition Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson. Now, nobody knew who this guy was back then. I was the only one that brought a book to that convention to have him sign, I'm pretty sure. And I actually sat and talked to the guy for about an hour or two in the little area where all the authors were gathered up, and I had a good conversation about his series. He let me know it was like 10 books long. He'd written like 3 or 4 of them up at that point. A lot of them had come out in Great Britain already, and they were slowly coming out in America. And then, they put this cover on it, a Stephen Ewell illustration. I think it's Stephen Ewell or Paul Ewell. I'm not sure. Stephen Ewell illustrated this. I think it's a pretty striking illustration. I think it gets the feel and flavor of the Malazan world. Let's look at the paperback. You know, there have been various paperback versions come out. This is the one I have. So which one do you think I like better? You know what I'm going to say? This one's pretty cool too. I like the simplicity of the tower. I do like the colorfulness of this. It still gives me that late 80s, mid 1990s sort of epic fantasy feel. This one, maybe not so much. I am going to say, though, that this is a tie for me. I kind of actually quite like both of them. So we'll give book 1 a tie. Now, this is the only book I've got of his signed, so we will there won't be any more signed ones. But let's talk about Dead House Gates. Book number 2. I got the hardcover, first edition hardcover, and the paperback. Whoa, wait. The cover is the same. So now we got to just base it off of the type and the font, and those are pretty much about the same. Let's do the let's rate them. We'll call this one a tie too. I mean, how could we not? Okay, let's talk about book number 3, Memories of Ice. Memories of Ice. I'm sorry, I didn't plan this out very well. The logistics of grabbing these books has already fucked me up. Memories of Ice, book number 3. Got the hardcover here and the paperback. The hardcover's got a great Todd Lockwood painting on it. They started using Todd Lockwood for most of the series. Most of the series in hardcover has Todd Lockwood paintings. The nice wraparound artwork. Very great. And then we've got this pretty striking battle axe and fighter right there. I like that too. And this one was done by Steve Stone. I think that all of the paperbacks were actually done by Steve Stone. And if I run across one that's different, I'll let you know. Steve Stone is also a great illustrator. He did all the brand new versions of Stephen King's Dark Tower. He did a lot of stuff. Just for aesthetics, though, I'm going to go with the hardcover by Todd Lockwood on this one. I think the Memories of Ice hardcover artwork is better than this. But just slightly, you know. We're nitpicking on those. House of Chains. House of Chains. Yes, I got the hardcover of House of Chains. Paperback of House of Chains. Another Todd Lockwood painting. Nice wraparound artwork. And then another Steve Stone painting of these big dogs. It looks like similar theme. The big, huge dogs and the little people in the foreground. This one's almost a tie for me also. I just love the colors of this with the typeface. This is a little bit, I think overall I like this illustration better on the small paperback. But just in general and overall production value, I like the hardcover because I like the colorfulness of the typeface with the painting, as opposed to this one where I don't think the typeface really matches the painting at all. So we're going to go with the Todd Lockwood hardcover once again. Now let's do Midnight Tides. Midnight Tides, folks. Another great Todd Lockwood illustration. And another Steve Stone for the paperback. The Todd Lock one does this nice wraparound. It's got this great painting of these warriors and this big dragon skull. This one has by Steve Stone, this one looks like it's a tomb up against the seashore with some fire in the background. I'm going to be honest, again, not to say that Steve Stone isn't a good artist, because he certainly is. But I just like the Todd Lockwood. And here's the thing. The reason I'm picking these hardcovers mostly is because I think the typeface and the font and it's just boring on these. Whereas this is really kind of stylized, and I like it. And I think it fits the overall epic fantasy flavor of the stories more than this is just good illustration, Steve Stone, but the art director that laid the typeface over it's killing you. Just killing you. Whereas these look really sharp to me. So let's go to book 6. Book 6, we have The Bone Hunters. The Bone Hunters. Okay, now this one is going to be an obvious win for the paperback. So the paperback cover is just the simple guy with knives. It's just simple. Now the hardcover has this wonky. This is another great Todd Lockwood painting where we've got this great horseman on the back. I think the horseman would be better served on the front, and this wagon that's rolling down the snowy hill. So I want you to check this out. This is a good painting. I'm not knocking the painting. I'm just kind of knocking the choice of why we would put that on the cover. A wagon rolling down a hill with a bunch of people being flipped off. Not flipped off. Well, they are being flipped off of the wagon and horses tumbling down the hill. It's like an ass over teapot accident, all gone foobar, and he painted it. And it works. I mean, we know what it is. We know that it's a wagon tumbling down a snowy hill with people getting just launched off of it like they're on a rocket launcher. And the horses just, but it's just a bit bizarre. Like, it's a bizarre, of all the images that could be, this is a great book with a lot of striking storytelling. I mean, why this scene? Why? Now, on the back, we've got this in it, but it's covered up by the type with this nice horseman on the back. Well, I think that would have made a better cover. So I think you're going to know. I mean, as soon as I saw them, I knew I was going to choose this one. So we'll go with the Steve Stone paperback rather than the wagon accident Wagon accidents. Nothing worse than a wagon accident. You know, and back when I was an illustrator, if someone would have asked me to paint a wagon accident, I would have been like, holy shit, I don't want to paint no fucking wagon accident. I'd rather paint an assassin with some cool fucking knives. Anyway, let's do the next book in the series, Reaper's Gale. Reaper's Gale. Here we've got another wagon in the background, but it ain't rolling down a hill. It's just stationary. Thank God. And then we've got Reaper's Gale. We've got that's a cool looking, man, that reminds me of like an old Conan the Barbarian cover, man. That's just dope. And then this one's dope too, with this another Todd Lockwood illustration. The guy with the bloody swords and the people in the background and the wagon. Maybe it's it's a wagon. There's a wagon wheel. I was like, well, maybe it's just a log cabin, but I see the wagon wheel. And let's just thank our lucky stars. Let's just take a moment to thank the universe that the wagon's not tumbling down a hill in this illustration, because this one is going to be another tie, because I absolutely dig this old school Steve Stone, almost reminiscent of a Conan the Barbarian, like old school 70s cover. And then Todd Lockwood knocked it out of the park with this. This one's dope too. So we're going to give this one a tie. We'll give this one a tie. Sounds fair, considering I really like both of those. Toll the Hounds. Toll the Hounds. Another great Todd Lockwood wraparound painting. Toll the Hounds. It looks like we've got some sort of hound coming at us. A demon hound and a battle axe wielding dude in the background. And here's another demon hound. Yeah, so which one do you think I'm going to like out of these two? You know what? This is another one where I think I like the simplicity of the Steve Stone Hound. I think this one's a little more menacing than this one, though I believe they're both fantastic paintings. I'm going to give the nod to the paperback on this one. And we will set these back here. We'll set them back here. And now we get to Dust of Dreams, where they ditched the Todd Lockwood. For the last couple books, they ditched the Todd Lockwood artwork. I don't know why, because he was doing a great job. And then they just went straight with the Steve Stone on both the paperback here and the hardcover. So again, a tie, just because it's pretty much the same cover. I think graphic design wise, I will lean more towards the hardcover, because it's got this icon up here. It's got more colorful font. The font and the typeface and the icon work better overall aesthetically. Good job, Steve Stone. And then let's do the Crippled God. The last book, book number 10. Another Steve Stone on both. Again, we're going to choose this one, the hardcover, just because it's got the extra graphic up top. And, you know, the wraparound. And so that's the 10 books in the Malazan Book of the Fallen. Now let's take a look at the Dust of Dreams. Wait. Where are we at? We already did Dust of Dreams, I think. Yes, we already did Dust of Dreams. Let's do Forge of Darkness. And who painted this one? Another Steve Stone, Forge of Darkness. So this is book 1 of the prequel trilogy to the Malazan universe. Again, we'll give the nod to the hardcover because it's got nice gold lettering instead of just the plain white. You know. And then I've got book number 2. We don't have a paperback version of it because there is none. They never printed one. They just never fucking printed it. So we've only got the Steve Stone but this is the Fall of Light, book number 2. And now we're still awaiting book number 3 to finish out the prequel trilogy. Don't know when that'll happen. Or if it will even happen. So that is my entire Malazan Book of the Fallen collection of both hardcovers and paperbacks. So there you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you agree. If you disagree with my rankings of the artwork, go ahead and leave a comment. And all is good.